About 2 weeks ago, I published my first impressions of Hobonichi's 2026 paper as a short. Now that I've had more time to play with it, let's really dive in. I'll be comparing the cream-colored paper in this 2026 Weeks planner to last year's updated 5-year planner with the improved paper. More on that in a bit. I will also stack this 2026 Techo up against a notebook with OG Tomoe River paper. For tools, I grabbed a friction erasable pen, a Jetstream ballpoint, an Energel gelling pen, a Uniball Air rollerball, a highlighter, a few fountain pens with different nibs, and a Hokoro brush for an ink swatch with a chroma shading ink. Basically, I raided my pen cup for anything that looked fun. So, quick recap. Last year's paper was hit or miss. The cream paper seemed especially troublesome, causing headaches in the weeks and even more in the 5-year planner. And it wasn't just Hobonichi either. Recent batches of Sanzen's Tomoe River paper had issues that affected other planners, notebooks, and even loose sheets. Hobonichi responded by offering replacements for affected 5-year planners only, and they made a new batch with what they called adjusted ink absorbency. I have one of those updated 5-year planners from last year here, so I can compare it directly to the new 2026 Weeks. So my question was, did they use that same replacement paper for 2026? Short answer, nope. There are noticeable differences. The updated 5-year paper from last year feels smoother and a bit slick, like it has more coating, and ink dries more slowly. The 2026 Weeks paper, on the other hand, seems to handle ink even better. The difference shows with the Uniball Air, which feathers in the 5-year planner but mostly behaves in the Weeks. If the new paper is less coated but handles ink better, what changed? My gut says it has to do with the sizing agent, the stuff that's mixed into the pulp rather than the surface coating. That's just a guess though. Whatever they did, it worked. The 2026 paper is what I want Tomoe River to be, thin but friendly to ink. It handled the Hokoro brush and extra broad fountain pen nibs without fuss. There's a little bleed with the Energel and Uniball Air when I press hard, but honestly I've seen that on the original Tomoe River too. What about the white paper in the 2026 Techo? How does it compare to the benchmark, that is Tomoegawa era Tomoe River paper from the Shizuoka No. 7 plant? Side by side, it's remarkably similar. If you really want to pixel peep with a loop, you might notice jagged edges on the 2026 sheets, but to my naked eye, it's fine. One quirk is that Uniball Air performed a bit worse on the new paper. In terms of cons, that's about it. On the plus side, colors stay just as vibrant, shading shows beautiful gradient, and even with fat nibs and an ink swatch there was no bleed. I also saw less show-through with fountain pen inks on the new paper than on OG Tomoe River. I did notice one more difference, and this is an odd one. The new paper doesn't feel rough, but it sounds a bit more toothy. There's this audible feedback when you write. Listen to this. I actually like that, but your mileage may vary. All in all, I'm impressed. I don't know exactly what happened last year, but both of my 2026 Hobonichis have paper that, to my mind, rivals original Tomoe River. Fingers crossed Sanzen sorted their production issues and we're back to reliable runs. If you tried this year's Hobonichi planners, tell me what you found in the comments. Thanks for sticking around and indulging my paper nerding.